So, just in case you were absent, or if you want to see it again with more of an explanation and me going step by step through all of the graphing expectations, I'm going to go ahead and create this video. Um, so, this is for the worksheet called Graphing Expectations and Equation Writing. Um, so on here, I want to kind of go through exactly what I expect in terms of graphs. So conventionally, the title is the vertical variable versus the horizontal variable with some added information for context. So this is the vertical and horizontal goes this way. And so that's where we get the vertical versus the horizontal. And then to make it make more sense, we say for spring. So how much something stretched versus the mass, we're like, what's going on? But if I say for a spring, then it makes a little bit more sense. When we're working with graphs, I want the graphs really big. They should take up a whole sheet of paper, or at least most of a piece of paper, because the y-intercepts and the slopes have meaning. And we're going to be using these graphs to derive some of the equations for the class. So make sure that it's nice and big. In terms of scales, each axis does not need to have the same scale, but if this much is worth 10, then the same amount needs to be worth 10 the entire way across this graph. Going up, this is 2. That means the same amount needs to be 2. The same amount needs to be worth 2. So make sure that when you're using these scales, that you're counting by the same amount each time. So each box is worth the same amount. I also, some people will like do the squiggly thing like this so that it takes up less space. I do not want to see that at all. You need to start at 0 and go up by the same number the whole time. If you end up with a large gap at the bottom, that does mean something, and it's important that that shows up on your graphs. The next thing here is the labels. Um, you need to start with variable. So the variable always goes first. And then in parentheses are units. And so that needs to go both on the X and Y axis. And then in terms of data points, your data points should be marked clearly. That means like a big box like this. You don't need to tell me exactly what the coordinates are. You just need to put a big fat dot so I can see them. When you do a line of best fit, do not play connect the dots. You're going to draw one line through all of the dots. If it looks like it's supposed to be a straight line, you are going to draw a straight line. If it looks like it's a curve, you're going to draw a curve. Now, if your graph turns into a curve and it's not actually a straight line, you will be expected to do another graph and to do a linearization process that you are going to be learning about in the next video or the next day in class.